Now boys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here and welcome back to another episode of this FIFA 22 Inter Milan career mode. And today we're going to finish off season number 1 here with Inter Milan, push forward to see what budget we've got for season number 2, where hopefully we can implement a lot of changes. Now there's still quite a bit to play for. Unfortunately, it does seem like the league has slipped away from us. But Lautaro Martinez can still win top goal scorer, so we have to focus on that. That's important for him to get that award, and we are in a cup final, an all-important cup final, where hopefully we can pick up the first little bit of silverware in this series. Unfortunately, we aren't in the Champions League final after absolute heartbreak in the last episode. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. That episode was absolutely nutty, and I am still extremely devastated to this exact moment because I'm recording this only like 10 minutes after. That's about recordings, man. We got to do it. If you're new around here, smash the subscribe button as well as hitting the like button if you're going to enjoy the video. I appreciate all the support so far. I'm looking forward to this one now. We don't really have anything to play for in the league, but I can't do a one-game episode. I can't do that. So what we're going to do here is we will play the Juve game as well. It kind of makes sense. Get a little bit of revenge. We'll see what happens. I actually just read a really interesting news article about Dybala and Juve and how there might be some things going on there, and Dybala might be leaving Juventus, potentially even on a free. So, I mean, that's interesting. Anyway, we will play that game, and I'll probably rotate a little bit so that we've got players in good shape and good stamina going into the Udinese game. I will leave a little gap in between this episode and the new season for you guys to get suggestions in. This is the list of players we've got already. I've added a few. You guys have given me a lot of suggestions. I do always try and make sure that we use suggested players just so that you guys get a feel for this team as well. Again, though, when you suggest players, don't be butthurt if they don't get chosen. We get suggested a lot of players. I can only choose so many. Thuram is looking like the favourite already to come in at the left side. The fact that he can play backup striker as well. I'm really hot on him, but he signed for Valencia in the summer, so I've kind of had to make the decision not to go in for him. But I mean, he looks pretty tasty. I can't believe he's 6'4" as well. Physicality from him as well as pace. But yeah, so this is the list we've got at the moment. There's a few players on there that really piqued my interest, but we'll kind of see what's going to happen in the summer. We don't know what kind of budget we're going to be given, and the most important thing with this team is to make sure we've got some more strength in depth. I must add though, there is just this small chance after looking at the table that we could win the league. It's a really slim chance. We'd have to have better goal difference than Lazio, and we'd have to win our last 2 games, hoping that Lazio lost their last 2 games. So, I mean, there is a slim hope. They play Napoli next as well. If they lose that game to Napoli, we might have to play 3 games in this episode. I'm just telling you that now. We might have to, but let's get into this Juve game. The board, obviously, at the moment, they're not too keen on me. I think if we win the cup, that will change their mind. Also, not really much to worry about with a 65 manager rating. We should be okay. One of the key things is we didn't manage this one, so if I can get a clean sheet here, that would be important, because I think we're playing at home against Juve. Just a clean sheet now would make them happy, but I haven't done the long-term one. We do have a little bit more time. We didn't do Continental. They wanted us to reach the final. We got semi, so, I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous that, and we haven't done the youth development. The domestic one, we aren't going to do either. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think if we win the Italian Cup, we should be cool. 65 on the manager rating isn't the worst. I'd only start to worry if we were, like, mid-40s. Juve are currently 7th as well, which is just, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Kind of rotated without fully rotating because, of course, we've got that all-important cup final coming up. This is going to be the starting 11. It's a decent starting 11 nonetheless, even with some rotation. Juve have got a good team. We aren't at home either, which is a little bit of a shame, so I'm not sure we're going to manage to get that clean sheet. I guess kind of is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Again, I really do not care about the manager rating as long as it just stays high enough for us to stay in the job. It would be pretty frustrating, though, if we got sacked here. I'm not going to lie. I might scramble. I don't have enough time, to be honest with you, to achieve the youth one at this stage. I just really don't, and I'm just hoping. There's been a lot of patches fairly recently, and surely it's been nerfed even more. There's been so many complaints this year about the objectives. It's been one of the more popular videos as the year's gone on because more and more people have been screwed over getting sacked, and then obviously searching on YouTube on how to not get sacked with the objectives, because it seems like an absolute nonsense that you can pay at this price for a game and not even have the opportunity to turn off being sacked in your career mode. Is just, I don't know. It's a real weird one. I think it's something that needs to be implemented in next year's game. It's in a lot of other games. I think on like Madden, you can choose whether you can be sacked or not. NHL, I know you can in MLB and NBA. You could choose whether there's going to be sackings or not. I think you should be able to choose it in this, right? Like, you should be allowed to choose and make the game the sandbox that you kind of want it to be. That is great from Brazovic. That is a good ball to Edin Dzeko. The ball to Lautaro, not so good. We retain it, though. Oh, my God, that was good to Denzel Dumfries. Dumfries is actually really good on the football. That's something that's probably understated. I mentioned it in the last episode. I'll mention it again in this one. I know this was supposed to be a much shorter series, and then we've ended up doing this many episodes. And I think I've just got carried away with Inter Milan, to be honest with you. I've enjoyed using them. I've enjoyed playing with them. There's been some really crazy goal scoring in like some of the games as well. So I do apologize. We will try and make the next season less episodes, so it's a bit of a faster pace, like I said it was going to be. And for future series, I will try and get better at that, but I just find it a bit difficult because I'm so used to just doing a full-fledged series or a rebuild, like nothing in between. That's a great ball into Lautaro, and of course that's 1-0 into Milan. They can't give him that kind of space. He's always going to punish you if you give him that kind of room. And Lautaro Martinez does look set to be his top goal scorer this season in the Serie A, and he deserves it. He's been absolutely brilliant. This is a really good ball in, actually, from Denzel Dumfries. Spotted the run, good ball in, well weighted. He's always finishing. Started really slowly, or I started really slowly, didn't I, with Lautaro Martinez? And I think if you've been here since the Spurs series, we've all got really fond memories of how good he was for me. Well, we kind of got him back in that form again, haven't we, with Inter? It's not a surprise. He's so good. He's going to be 90 rated, I imagine, next season. And it's pretty rare that I get to use a player that is 90 rated. In fact, if I think about it this year, there is only Harry Kane and then maybe Lautaro Martinez where I've actually used a 90 rated player. I'd have to double check. Maybe we had someone in that Barcelona career mode that was 90 rated, but it is pretty rare for me that I end up with a 90 rated player. And they're looking for these lofted balls over the top a lot. Bastoni's dealt with that brilliantly. And I'm just not sure that's the outlet that Juve want. Now, they've got Marcus Rashford, who has pace, can cause issues. Lautaro came really deep to pick that football up. I'm not sure I want him coming that deep. Remember, we tweaked the tactic last time round. Now he's playing a false 9 role. And the tactic worked. The tweak worked. I really think we should have beaten Man City. I felt like we were a better team. That red card, I think, really hindered us. But next season, hopefully, we'll get some revenge. I'd love to come up against Man City again to get that revenge as well. Ambrosio out wide there. Good ball into Lautaro. Lautaro's found Hakan. Hakan out to Denzel Dumfries, who whips that one in towards Damsgaard, who, let's be honest, is not the target in that situation. You can whip the ball in high to Damsgaard or Edin Dzeko. I think we all know where the ball should have gone. It didn't, unfortunately, for us. And we've been a bit unlucky there. Now, I maybe could pick some players up from Juve. If you guys suggest that we do that, because Juve are going to finish outside of the Champions League, which I know they've still got great pulling power, but I do believe if they're going to finish outside the Champions League, I don't see any reason it would be beyond the realms of realism if we were a Champions League semi-finalist and we also finish above them in the league, why we couldn't go and nick a couple of their players. Benedeschi there, doing really well out wide. Got Vlahovic to aim for, and it's a good ball into Locatelli. Oh, Vlahovic has been found, and that's a great block from D'Ambrosio. I'm not sure he knew much about it, but it'll be a corner now for Juve. Kept them relatively quiet, but we all know in the game of FIFA, they only really need one period where they're not quiet, and that will probably be where they score goals. It's not going to be there, though. He's either offside or handballed it. Brozovic there finds Lautaro. He'll happily ping that one out to Denzel Dumfries. Denzel could not get the loft on it. Lautaro's going to win that header, though. He's always going to be favourite. He always wants it more. That's the thing with Lautaro Martinez. He wants it more than anybody else on the pitch. I guarantee you that. The only issue with this false 9 role is he's linking up play really well. He's getting into those tricky positions, but he isn't always in a position to score. And that's unfortunately what he's best at. That was nearly really bad. I nearly brought him down. We get away with a save from Anana. Be a little bit tighter there defensively. Exploiting some weaknesses now at Juve from this back line. That is not good. I don't like that. Well in De Vrij, actually. He's headed it straight back to Bernardeschi. Damsgaard's done brilliantly on the defensive end there, but we'll get away with it. Damsgaard now is going to have options, surely. Damsgaard's still got it. He's still got it. He tries to pick it inside. That's a beautiful ball from Damsgaard. Lautaro into Hakan. What a save from Szczesny. 2-0 just before the half would maybe even kill this game off. We've got the corner. I'm going to whip it in. It's a good ball in. Dzeko. Oh my God, what a save from Szczesny that is. We're on for 2-0 there. I'm going to whip it back in again now. Towards Edin Dzeko again. And this time he's right on the crossbar. Denzel Dumfries can't get a good header on it. And that is extremely close to being maybe game over for Juve. They've not really offered much. And it looks like they've had a horrendous season, obviously. But I'll take that going in at the half. 1-0, and we've been putting the pressure on. I was so close to getting a corner goal. I don't think we've scored a single corner goal with Inter. Could smell a bit of blood in the water there, couldn't we? It just felt like for a moment we were going to get the second. And I never feel comfortable in a match until we've got the second. I have enjoyed using Oliver Skip again, though. He's actually been really good, especially since we moved him to that role of, like, being the anchor. He's played a million times better, and I feel really confident using him as well. Go on then, Lautaro. That's a great ball in, and that's just what Lautaro Martinez can do, and that will be a foul from Dinamo. That's the only way they can stop him. They've made a sub. I'm not quite sure who it is because I skipped it. I am going to whip this ball in towards Edin Dzeko, and I'm going to hope that it's a goal. It's ended up towards Denzel Dumfries, but we had no one near it, and Chiellini dealt with it easily. Brozovic then into Edin Dzeko. Lautaro Martinez. Ping that one into Damsgaard, who's done okay with the ball there, but I mean, his touch just wasn't quite what it needed to be. He's going to be brought down again. Juve getting a bit reckless here. You can tell that there's frustrations there in this Juventus team and in the camp. Bala is going to come on for Vlahovic. Now, every time he's come on, he's caused me issues. I'm just going to put that there and see what happens. It's not bad ball in. Denzel Dumfries will be there. Every time to Denzel De Vrij. Oh, just would have been magical, wouldn't it? Just would have been magical. Wasn't to be. We've come close from a couple of corners now. I'm going to whip that one in again, this time towards Bastoni. Got some on it. Szczesny is there again to cause me problems. Brozovic. Edin Dzeko. Oh, he got that back across to Lautaro. Lautaro back into Hakan. And what's the ref giving here? Was Lautaro actually offside? There's no way he was offside, was he? Ah, he was. Edin Dzeko finds Damsgaard. Damsgaard has got pace. He's got rail raw pace. And real raw talent to whip a ball in for Hakan. What a volley that is. And that'll be 2-0 into Milan. And damn straight, we are making some substitutions now. We're going to be getting the big boys off the pitch as we make it 2-0. What a ball in from Damsgaard. He did really well to make sure he got to the second ball and whip it across. And it was actually fantastic. Hakan stood off as well, which makes this even better. Stands off Danilo. Oh, what a finish. Pretty easy decision, these substitutes. Lautaro, of course, is one of the players coming off. I'm going to bring off Brozovic and Denzel Dumfries as well. We do have Skamaka, who I would be open to play in the cup final, so we'll keep Edin Dzeko on the pitch. Again, we've got Correa instead of Hakan, so those positions I'm not worried about as much. But I'd like Denzel Dumfries to start the game. I think Mbaku has improved massively this year, but he's not quite there yet. And Alexis Sanchez is coming on for an appearance of football. We'll see what happens in that situation. I believe we sold him, so he will be leaving us. Well cut out, Anana. He will be leaving us at the end of this season. Goes to Bala out wide. Peña's ball is awful. Dani Ceballos not doing me any favors there. Zakaria though. Dani Ceballos did brilliantly actually to get back there. Dybala, get to that. Oh, well in, Anana. Ooh, that was close. If they did score now, it would leave this game still wide open. Damsgaard there. Into Oliver Skip, who's cleaned out very aggressively. Is that going to only be a yellow? It is. They've just been a little bit reckless at Juve. I think they've just... I wouldn't say they've panicked, but the game has just gone so badly for them. Mbaku now from distance. It's hit Edin Dzeko. I think the game's just gone so badly for them. Ceballos. Edin Dzeko across to Damsgaard. It's 3-0. It is 3-0 to Inter Milan. Horrendous defending there from Juve. Horrendous defending. And that's it. Game done. I mean, it was done and dusted at 2-0. It's definitely done and dusted at 3. It's good to see this form as well after the disappointing defeat to Manchester City. To see us play like this is great. I've got no doubt, though. I think Juve will do good business in the window. I think they'll come back next season. They'll be a contender again next year. It's just going to be really really weird. They're probably going to be a Conference League side. I'm guessing Conference League would be 7th place. In fact, if we lost to Udinese, maybe Udinese would be a Conference League side, and they wouldn't, but of course we need to win the cup. Well, it felt good to pile on some more misery to Juve after they beat us first game of the season, and we'll kind of see where we are in the league now. That might have swung the goal difference in our favour. The main thing, I think, is just stay ahead of Milan, get a better finish than AC Milan. I know FIFA don't really interpret that as meaning anything, but it means something to us, right? Making sure that we get a finish ahead of AC Milan. But that was an unbelievable performance. Juve were awful. That's the worst I've seen a side as good as them play. Now, Udinese lost. in the build-up to this final as well. We stay third. Lazio did not win. Lazio did not win. Who did they play final game of the season? They played Torino final game of the season. And where are Torino at this moment in time? Torino are rock bottom. So I really don't see that changing. I don't think we'll win the league. It really is the slimmest of chances. And we'd have to pray that Atalanta lost as well. So I'm not going to hold out hope there. We're not going to play that game. I just don't think it's in the realms of possibility, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And to be fair, we will probably, or at least we might, still win the sim against Sampdoria. So I'm not too worried, but rock bottom, if they were playing someone a little bit better, then maybe I'd contemplate it. Here we go then. Cup final. All important cup final. It's going to be played at home as well. It's going to be played at the San Siro. It's this Italian cup final. So we do have a little bit of an advantage here over Udinese. This is their starting 11. They haven't had an unbelievable season, but they have managed to make it to this final. And the last thing I want to do is underestimate a side, because we nearly did that with Wolfsburg and we nearly got knocked out. So with the starting 11, Correa coming into the team, and that's pretty much the only change that you'd expect. Damsgaard, I was 50-50 whether we start him over Perisic. I'm choosing the experience of Perisic in this one. Of course, this is a massive moment in our season. Obviously, the only silverware this year. It's all important. I can't believe we've been gifted the opportunity to be at home. I think that is insane. And we're hopefully going to grasp it. The fact that we are the home team, just don't underestimate Udinese. That's all it is, right? Just don't underestimate them. It's a cup final. It's a one-off game. They're having a okay league season, I guess. They're mid-table. I was going to say mediocre, but I don't think that's fair on Udinese. I remember when they were actually really, good with Di Natale and stuff, but they're not bad now. I don't know what they're doing in real life. They've got an okay team. Gerard Deulofeu's back there. Obviously, Udinese and Watford share the same ownership. Are we cutting them wide open here? Barella. He's going to have that run out wide to Denzel Dumfries, who is going to play a really interesting ball in. I should have controlled it. You can't really do first-time hits like that anymore, and you shouldn't be able to. If he'd have been able to find the pass I actually wanted him to make there, it would have been a little bit ridiculous. We decided to play through really quick here. Barella, of course, was unbelievable against Man City. Denzel Dumfries can't just quite get on to that. I just don't want to let the game go tense. I think we need to score early. I think the more tense I let the match get, the more likely we are to lose this. That's a good ball in behind. Denzel Dumfries, I thought I'd done well. Pasuto there was tackled well in by Skriniar. That was all important. Correa could not get out. That was poor from him. He needs to be making a bigger impact than that. And again, guess who's there? Skriniar. He's saving my bacon. De Vrij, what we doing? He's going to get away with it. Oh my God, we got lucky there. I thought I'd found the pass out. I hadn't. And then De Vrij nearly played me into some right trouble. Dumfries. Barella, good turn into Lautaro. Couldn't get the correct touch on it. They got Pablo Mari. This actually might be a really tough game. Udinese seem just really good at the minute. They're really tight as well. It's a good play. We know Molina. He's good. We've used him this year. Very, very good right back. I think we used him in the Leicester save, if I can remember correctly. I think we used him in the Leicester save. He was good as well. Pereira there. Ex-Watford. And Deulofeu ex-Watford. And that is a great save from Onana. He could be all important to keep us in this one, to be honest. We haven't seemed like a team with the home advantage, to be honest with you, at the start of this game. We've started very, very poorly. I'm hoping that is going to change here. It doesn't look like it, though. That's great from Skriniar. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, Dumfries managed to free that football. Lautaro Martinez. Edin Dzeko out wide to Perisic. What a ball that was into Perisic. Perisic will cut it back. Doesn't really have the pace to cut it back. Definitely not against Molina either. I should have known that. I know how quick Molina is. Well, 25 minutes. And neither side have particularly had too many good chances. It's been a really stale match. I guess it's been tentative, which is, that's what you'd expect from a cup final, really. Correa now finds Lautaro Martinez. He's going to want Denzel Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries then back inside to Edin Dzeko. Not sure that was the right ball to Perisic. Oh, he nearly changed my mind. Oh my God, I can't believe that I didn't find the back of the net. Nearly in off the post. What a shot from Perisic. I just cut inside, which I said he couldn't do earlier. Yes, he can. Oh, how did that not cross the line? That would have been really fitting if Perisic had have scored that. Signed a new contract. Back in favour. He's played quite a lot this season. Just would have been unbelievable. I'm really gutted for him. I like that run. I like that run. Keep going, Denzel. Is it going to be the right back who opens up the scoring? It is going to be Denzel Dumfries from what is an impossible angle. I have no idea how he's managed to squeeze that one into the back of the net, but all that matters is that it's 1-0 into Milan, and we finally started to find some holes in the back line of this Udinese side. It's a great ball into Denzel Dumfries. I think the centre-back's got to do better. I'm guessing he thought he cut the angle enough. I don't know how he scored that. That is pretty magic, if you ask me. Do have the lead. Has still been a really cagey game, though. It's not been all us. It's been a really tough matchup so far. See if we can keep it this way. We just need to hold on now, or maybe get a second. I'd love a second, but beggars can't be choosers in a cup final. Well, in Korea, that is absolutely Brazilian. Brilliant. Denzel Dumfries is having a good game. I'm getting tongue-twisted right now, but we need to hold on here. They've got a free kick. That's well played. They played it quickly. Gerard Deulofeu. Oh, Bastoni. He will be fuming with himself there. Pereira scores, makes it 1-1. But what was that touch? He'd done everything to cut the ball out. He made the right decision. He cuts the football out, and then it's just really sloppy. Take the free kick quickly. Deulofeu does his man, and then Bastoni, he gets a foot onto it, but it ends up lining up for Pereira perfectly. That holding on did not happen for long, did it? It just didn't, and we need another goal now. Absolutely frustrating, but this game has livened up. It took the one goal from us to liven the game up, and now, I guess you would say game on. Lautaro into Edin Dzeko. Back into Lautaro. Lautaro's done brilliantly there to get it back to Correa, and then back into Lautaro. What a save. Unbelievable save. Not a bad first half. The only downside is the fact that we let Udinese score. We need a little bit more this second half. As you can see, it's been super tight. They've actually got a better XG than us, but it's been an extremely tight game of football. There's not been much from either team, and I guess that's what you expect from a cup final. Tentative from both sides. We need to get a little bit more involved now and just cause them a few more issues. Lautaro Martinez into Edin Dzeko, into Correa, and he just scuffs at it. He just scuffs at the shot and he's dragged it wide. Well played out, well worked Lautaro Martinez. We need a star like him. Just kind of take us on his back a little bit. Carry us just a touch here because we're going to need it. He's going to actually be giving the ball back, and that is fantastic. Correa then is not silly. He gives it back to Lautaro. Lautaro needs a bit more help now in this situation. Barella, good footwork. Lautaro Martinez. We do have weapons on the pitch, which will cause anybody issues. Correa again, and this time it's blocked. We started the second half brightly, but it doesn't matter how brightly you start the second half, does it? The goals are what matter here in this situation. Stoney now, up against Molina. He'll be fuming after conceding that goal, to be honest with you. He'll be absolutely fuming, but he's done brilliantly there to win it back against Molina. But they haven't really given me any breakaway moments in this match, I'll be honest with you. There's been very, very few moments where we would have been able to just break away. What are you doing, Brazovic? Oh, Brazovic has played us into a nightmare. And Skriniar saves us. This moment, either side could quite easily win this. Denzel Dumfries. He's kind of on his own. I'm wondering why he's so on his own. Here we go, though. Lautaro Martinez. Knew he had a runner there in Edin Dzeko. Edin Dzeko again to Correa, and this time he will find the back of the net. And there we go, 2-1 into Milan. I feel like we deserve it. I think we've been the better of the two teams. Only just, though, it's been super tight. Oh, but I'll take that. Correa's had a couple of those opportunities and not scored. There we go. That's a massive goal for him, and it's a massive goal for us in terms of winning this trophy. Dumfries has been great. There is no doubt about that. He's been great in this match, but he's tired. And I can't afford to have tired legs on at the moment, so Mbaku in a cup final is going to be coming on. And maybe even he'll have some opportunities to exploit them even more. I would love another goal just to let me relax a little bit. Well in Barella. Oh, of course, Barella does that. Lautaro Martinez then finds Edin Dzeko. This goal is massive if he can score it. Of course he can. He's been perfect in front of goal all season. And I imagine that is the game done and dusted. Inter Milan are going to lift the trophy. There's been some worrying moments. Udinese have given us one hell of a fight. But that is the kind of goal you expect. Lautaro found him perfectly. Edin Dzeko not tired, which is the most important thing there. Physically strong, goes clean through. And he's not going to miss that. He's been perfect. Number 9 is perfect for him. He's been fantastic in front of goal this season. Cess has been brought on for them. He adds a little bit of pace up top that they didn't have. Molina, this is good play. Deulofeu pulls it wide. Did get a little bit nervy there, didn't it? But 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes do see us lifting this trophy, and at the end of the season, this is huge for us to actually get a trophy lift, to be in this position, especially after the gutting feeling of losing that Man City game with a red card. This is really important, and the man who got the red card is actually going to get to lift this cup, and hopefully it's the first of many here with Inter Milan. We could build a little bit of a dynasty with a squad that we're going to be able to put together here, hopefully throughout the seasons. And there'll be a lot more moments like this that we can enjoy and celebrate. How cool is it as well that we get to do this at our own stadium? Imagine. Absolutely perfect position to be in. Getting to do it in your own stadium. I mean, it should have been this outcome. Nothing against Udinese, but when you look at our squad, when you look at their squad, this team, and this starting 11, I should add, is unbelievable. It's brilliant. The strength in depth has just been a little bit of a problem throughout this season. But all in all, moments like this make the season a success. I must admit, there was a couple of moments there where I wasn't sure if we were going to do it. I'm just going to be honest. There were a few moments, especially when they scored so quickly, where I was a bit nervous. Now, unfortunately, the manager rating's gone up not one bit whatsoever after that, which, I don't know, seems a bit ridiculous to me. We are going to now sim forward past this Sampdoria game where I'm hoping we win it. We do win it 2-1. As I say, we were never going to win the league. That's why I still sim the game. We were never going to win the league, but top goal scorer is important for us. Of course, without a shadow of a doubt, Lautaro Martinez is the top goal scorer this season. Simeone, actually, the next top goal scorer from Hellas Verona. Which is crazy. Immobile in there, you'd expect Insigne, João Pedro. I'm just really happy that we got 2 players in there with Edin Dzeko as well. He had an unbelievable season. We are going to go through the squad in a moment. I'm excited to see what money they give me next year. I think it's going to be big money. Now, the season's done and we're at a manager rating of 65, so we should be absolutely fine. We shouldn't be worried about losing our job. When we do look at the team stats this year, it is by far and clear ahead that Lautaro Martinez was the standout player and the player of the season. I don't even think this is a debate. I don't even think there should be any conversation really in the comments section. Lautaro Martinez was the player of the season. He's got up by 4, should be 90 rated next season. Still only 24, 33 goals, 15 assists. A big one would be if a massive team comes in for him, a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Man City, do we sell him? That would be the big question. Do we sell him? I don't want to, but I do believe in real life, if Inter got 150 million for Lautaro Martinez, he would be gone. He'd be out the door as quick. But hopefully that's not going to be the case. Hopefully we could keep him. Edin Dzeko there right behind him. He's gone down by 1, but hopefully we'll still be all right next season. 20 goals, 9 assists, 13 and 13 for Barella, 11 and 5 for Correa. Hopefully Correa's someone who we can get the permanent deal done for, but not for a ridiculous fee. Hopefully no more than, say, 30 million would be good. Skamaka going up by 4 now, 80 rated at 23. I'm excited to see what he can do in the future. He's basically the ready-made Edin Dzeko replacement. We just need someone that can play the Lautaro Martinez role when he's not playing, but I mean, he's played 53 games this season, so he is going to play the bulk of games. We do have Stefano Sensi coming back, so I was a little bit worried about midfield. He is going to be coming back. He is someone who can maybe do some bits for us. 5 goals this year for Sampdoria. Also, I have Pinamonte coming back, who's gone up by 2, but I'm just not sure about him. I'm not sure about him in real life. He's been dropping off. If I was to use any of them, it would probably be Esposito. He's got up by 3, but I'm not sure we use any of these young players. We'll probably loan Esposito out again. We'll see what happens. Maybe I could give Pinamonte a little bit of a rotation place. Salcedo as well could be a good player for us, but again, I just don't think he's well rated enough on FIFA. Baku went up 3 this season. Really excited about him. Really good suggestion. We got Lazaro coming back. So we do have a bigger squad. They were just all out on loan. Dani Ceballos up by 2. I think he'll be into the 80s next season comfortably. Barella up by 4 now to 89. He should be 90 rated at some stage next year. Damsgaard went up by 4 as well. Perisic only down by 1. I think he's going to go down a lot more next season, which is going to be a shame. And he's probably going to play a lot less next season. But it's always good to have someone like him on the bench in case you need him. Oliver Skip only at 1. I really enjoyed using him. Really impressed with him. Brozovic went up by 1 as well. Lucian out on loan went up. Damian will be leaving. Denzel Dumfries up by 2. D'Ambrosio went down. And Ranocchia centre-back is quite clearly a problem. We have 3 centre-backs who I'm more than comfortable with. Zeno van Housen, I want to give an opportunity because I really like him. He's a good young Belgium centre-back, so when he comes back, we'll actually have him into the rotation. But I still think we need another centre-back. Kolarov went down 6 and Handanovic went down 5, so we made the right decision to bring in Onana, who only went up 1 this season. Hopefully to see him go up a little bit more next season. But we'll see what happens. But that is it here for the season. We're going to go forward now to see what kind of budget that we are going to be working with next year. Skip forward then to the new season. We're going to do the usual with the friendlies. We don't play them. I just go with the highest. But the most important thing here is how much money. Oh, we played Man City in the friendly cup. A little bit of revenge then. Now, we're not going to play it, but the most important thing here is how much money are we going to have. That is a lot. That is a lot of money, boys. Just to do some damage with. We're going to have about 200 million, I reckon, because there's players to leave, which is going to give us those wages back. We're going to have roughly about 200 million. Wow. 200 million to spend in the next window. So here you go. Here's your opportunity. Get your suggestions in. We've already got the list. I showed you that earlier. And let's see what we can kind of do with this team. The main focus really is strength and depth. And of course, we're old in a few positions that need to be improved. Centre back, we definitely need one. Left mid, I think we need another one because Perisic is going to be pushed to the wayside even more. And then we probably need a striker as well. Thuram, though, is... I'm high on Thuram, man. I like the idea of signing him being our left mid and a bit of a backup striker as well. I don't know. We're going to be in a lot of competitions. We're going to need enough players to be able to rotate. But anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for your support on the series so far. Again, though, I will do this now. If there are certain teams you want to see me do in these shorter series, as I say, this hasn't been as short as it was supposed to be. But in these bigger team series, then let me know in the comments down below. You never know. That team might get chosen. Appreciate you all. Make sure you sub if you're new around here. Hit the like button as well. And I will see you in season number 2.